Hey everybody, I'm Adam. I just got the new Corbeau Trailcat seats. I couldn't find them anywhere here in Colorado. I'd never seen them in a Jeep. I wasn't able to actually sit in them before ordering them. So I read the reviews, I took an educated guess and I just ordered a seat. So like I said, first impressions, these look really well made. It's a good looking seat. I got the inflatable lumbar support. Feels good. I sat in them straight out of the box. They are a recliner, which is awesome. I'm a big fan of that. Looks like I got some dirt on the back already. My girlfriend's short. I'm gonna install these with the seat riser so the seat can still flip. It raises the seat up about 1.5 inches. I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm a pretty short little guy too, so I can see over the dash. I wanted risers on my other seats anyways. I had a 2000 TJ that sat a little higher. These are going in a 2004 Rubicon. The Rubicons have a little bit lower seat in them, so this will actually be the same seat height as the 2000 TJ. We need to get the old seat out. We've got 4 little bolts down along the bottom of the seat here. Obviously one more over there, and another one all the way back. We're gonna use a 13mm wrench, and these should, keyword should, come out pretty easy. I don't think this project's gonna be overly difficult if you're a basic YouTube mechanic. All right, so I've got 3 of the bolts out. The 4th one in back over here is a torque bolt. No big deal. I have a feeling I'm gonna usually I change those out. I'll put this one back in because it's gonna be a little bit harder to make the seat to steel later. Cool thing about Jeeps that nobody tells you is that when you buy a Jeep, you get a new set of tools. Eventually you're gonna have to buy one of everything. Need to pop the last bolt off that seat. It's a little bit easier to come in through the back. Had a buddy make this for me. Unrelated to the Corbeau seats, but this is a genius design. Locks that into place. Just put a little locker right there on the bumper. Either way. Last bolt is right over here. In these seats is unplugging the little wire from the bottom of the seat. That's your seat belt sensor or whatever wire. We're just gonna put that off the side. All right, driver's side is out. I only do one seat at a time, or one anything at a time. That way if I screw it up, I can go look at the other one and see what I did wrong and figure out how to put it back together if I need to. Next step is removing 3 bolts. We got 1, 2, and 3. Got those 3 bolts out. 1, 2. It's over here somewhere. 3 on the seat. There's a little wire right here that looks like it's just clipped to the bottom of the seat. I'll disconnect that once I get the frame off. I just don't want to break it off right now. So now we're gonna flip the seats over and we'll do the other side. All right, so I got the second side off. I forgot on the first side. We're gonna need to reuse that seat belt, so make sure we yank that off as well. All right, so I made a little mistake. I took off these side bolts, which actually hold the chair together. I needed to take off these rear bolts to free the base. So it is 3 bolts, but those are the ones we're supposed to take. Now that that's off, we gotta remove the 4 bolts, still holding the sides on. And once we get that, I'm trying to figure out which one of these 2 brackets is driver and passenger. I know they're specific. Corbeau didn't do a great job about labeling which, so as soon as I figure that out, I'll let you guys know. All right, so I called Corbeau. If it ends in an even number, it's driver side. If it's odd number, it's passenger. Put this bracket back on using the attached bolts. Next thing is to mount it to the seat. Corbeau already had hardware installed. These are little Allen wrenches. So basically I'm just gonna flip this thing up, hold it on there, screw these back on, and theoretically should be able to just bolt these seats back in. Oops, all right, so we're getting close. Last couple things. Reattach the seat belt with the hardware that came off the old one. There's a lever on the back of these seats that's for the flipping. I don't know if I screwed something up on the driver's side or if my driver's side just never flipped, but having this pole here does me no good. So I'm just gonna take this whole piece out There's 2 nuts right here in the front of the seat underneath the slide. I'm just gonna disconnect those, clean stuff up. I hate extra wires and poles and anything else laying around. All right, got the seats back in. It's way easier without a back seat. I don't really run a back seat ever anyways. That wire underneath that I was saying we don't need earlier, we actually do. That's your seat belt, so your seat belt light doesn't go on. I'm gonna put that in. Bolt these 4 bolts back down into these 4 floor holes. I had heard somebody say that if you drop a washer on these, they sit a little higher, they're a little more comfortable. So I'm actually gonna try that out right now. All right, so we got the driver's side in, it slides, it does what it needs to do. I've got my little hand pump off to my side for my lumbar support. This looks like a dog toy. I'm a little curious about how long this is gonna last, but we're gonna hide it and hope for the best. That's it, one side's done. Let's move on to the passenger side. The seat does flip forward already. Makes access to these nuts a whole lot easier than it did on the other side. I'm sure that's the only thing that's gonna be easier. I know we have a couple wires we gotta reroute on this, a few other things, jack in the way. But that's it. We're gonna get this party started on the passenger side. All right, passenger seat is out and we're done. Passengers just add extra weight. Just kidding. Super easy, same thing, 4 bolts. I need to clean some crap out of here while I'm in here. We got a lot more happening here. Few wires we have to reroute. Same thing, need to get the bolts out. Looks like I might be missing a couple bolts already. Riding dirty. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear this apart again. Same thing, need to pull the seat belt out of there, and we'll find out how the rest of this works. With wires, I'd always rather be safe than sorry. So I don't think I'm gonna need these guys, but I'm gonna disconnect them as gently as possible. It's kind of a pain in the ass to do with one hand here. Either way, I'll get that one off in a second. I want to get all this disconnected nice and neatly. These are the brackets that it looks like actually keep the flipping mechanism going. So either way, I want to make sure I take everything off right. I'll show you what exactly was done once I have it all put back together. On this side, we're just taking these brackets off. 4 bolts. That pops right off. Got one last one to go. Then we're going to reroute this wire and try and assemble everything back together. This wire is now rerouted here. That's going to be our release lever for the folding seats. There were 2 wires both connected to this side. This is the second one, and I don't really know what it does yet. I can't find any pictures of it anywhere else. Anybody that knows, leave a message in the comments. Let me know what I'm missing and forgetting. But anyways, I rerouted from here through this over to here. That's going to be the connection lever for our bracket to make everything slide. I got the grinder out already. The bolt on the bottom of this is exceptionally long, so I'm just going to cut that guy right off there with the grinder. It'll take 2 seconds. I set it in the Jeep, trying to find out what this little lever right here does. Everything works without it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this right out of here and hope for the best. If something doesn't work, I'll save it and throw it in a pile and use it later if I need it. All right, both seats are in. Everything seems to be working. Chair's a little stiff. Can use this as a great time to lube that up. The back seat, this is the lever that does the flipping. Something I already don't like about this is if you don't push that lever all the way back over, it'll keep flipping. Like it's just kind of loose. I just did it on me a second ago. It gets kind of flappy. I doesn't lock itself back in. So I think what I'm going to do for now, make sure that's all the way over. But there's an extra hole right here in the back of the seat. This came off the original brackets. I think I'm just gonna hook a big spring, drill a hole. That way every time it pulls, it snaps it right back. Taking these seats for a little test rip. I can tell you already, I'm gonna love wheeling this thing. I sit up a lot higher, I can see good. The lumbar support is really nice. I love the bolsters on the side. I feel nice and snug in there. They're good seats. Corbeau put in the seat pocket. Aside from that, man, I'm super stoked on these. It's gonna take a minute. I'm so short, the clutch is a lot farther than I'm used to, but that's just time and getting used to it. Curious to see how these seats break in. I'll update as I know more. I think they look pretty freaking nice, man. Nice quality, pretty stoked with how they came out. It wasn't too hard going in and out. There's the backs. Again, no seat backs. Corbeau, if you're listening, what are you doing, dude? Anybody that's ever driven a Jeep knows that that's a premium. I'm super bummed that those aren't back there. It was bad enough I almost returned them, but the quality of the seats are rad. Everything else is awesome. I'm pretty happy. Everything works good. The little flipper flips, they slide, they seat. These bolsters on the side are nice. With it being raised up that extra 1.5 inches, having the low bolsters really is awesome. So overall, super pumped. My Jeep's no parking lot princess. I actually use her. I'm not the gnarliest dude out there. I'm not the most timid either. So I'm stoked to have something that's going to kind of hold me in here and keep me and my girl from bouncing out. Keep my dogs locked in the back. That's it. Click the subscribe button and hang out. Join us for more later. I'll have more videos coming up. Tattoos, Jeeps, stuff how to fix. If you've got toys, don't be scared to work on them. Expensive toys mean you either have to be rich or you got to be handy. Handy is a lot easier. Follow these YouTubes. I'm no mechanic. I learned everything I can from watching YouTubes as well. So click that little subscribe button and look forward to seeing you on my next video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think.